Hey everybody, this week we are wrapping up our year with the Pythagorean Theorem and how to use that to find the distance between 2 points, and also just reviewing how to find the missing side of a triangle. So we've got to first know which three sides we have. We have two legs, and those come off of the side of that right triangle. Usually see a little square there. But the really important side is that hypotenuse. And that's the side that's always across from that right angle. If we have that hypotenuse, then we have to subtract. But most of the time we're trying to find that hypotenuse. That's our C side. So we're going to use the formula A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So let's look at a few examples. So these first three examples, we are trying to find that missing C side. So we are given our two legs. Well, anytime we're trying to find C, we have to use the equation to add. So I would set that up as 5 squared, because I take one of the legs and square it, A squared, plus B squared. So I'm going to use 12 as our B, so that would be 12 squared. And then what we want to find is C squared, or C eventually. So I want to start simplifying. I'm going to square 5, I get 25. I'm going to square 12 and I get 144 because I know my perfect square numbers. When I add that together, I get 169, and that gives me C squared. Okay, that is not your final answer. Remember, you do have to take the square root. So we want to take the square root of 169, and this comes out to be a whole number of 13. Now, sometimes the answers will be in decimal form, or sometimes they may be in simplified radical form. So you just have to pay attention when you're working through questions as to how the answers are set up. I'm going to be simplifying mine in decimals, and I'm only going to be rounding to one decimal place today in this video. Sometimes you need to round to 2 decimal places or even 3. So 8, this next example, example 2, we've got two legs of 8. We've got 8 squared plus 8 squared, and that will give me my C squared, my missing side. I'm going to combine 64 plus 64, and I get 128. That's my C squared. So again, you've got to take the square root, and that gives me approximately 11.3. Okay, this third example for this video, we are setting up a triangle. And I always suggest you draw these. I've been that way all year about word problems. Anytime you're given a scenario and you've got a picture you can draw, I really suggest you do that. So Jane and Zachary start walking at the same point, but Zachary walks 5 feet north. Okay, so I draw a little line with him going north. Then we've got Jane, and she walks 75 feet east. So I'm going to leave from the same point. But instead, she walks way over here. Now, once I have those two lengths, I'm going to create a triangle. So I can label those two sides and clearly see that I am trying to find my C. It did create a right angle. Okay, if you wanted to draw your little square there, you could. I'm going to label my sides. So the 5 was how far Zachary walked. The 75 was how far Jane walked. And now I can set up my equation. So my equation looks like this. I've got 5 squared plus 75 squared equals C squared. I'm going to simplify. I've got 5650 when I square both those numbers and add it together. And then I would need to take the square root, and I get approximately 75.2. Okay, in the next video, I'll show you how to find A or B when you're given the C value.